Alrighty. Grand rising, peace, love, harmony, and light. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, world? Let me make sure I have audio. Okay, we got audio. We got audio. All right. I know it's early, but I'm gonna give a couple of minutes for a few of you to chime in. And once again, we got work to do, man. I hope everybody's in great spirits. We have a lot of people waking up today with a lot of hate, a lot of negativity. But again, those people can't help themselves. That's their nature, and that's what they manifest here for. So we're gonna ignore those people, but we're gonna move on because we have work to do. All right, we have work to do. We're gonna talk about a few things today, but first off, let me know if you guys could hear me. I mean, I could hear myself, but the question is, can you hear me? So I'm gonna wait for a thumbs up on that. And I see you guys are actually up. That's great. That's great. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Uh, okay, so let's see. Can you guys hear me? Can I get some feedback on anybody that's watching? Anybody that's watching, can you guys hear me? Hear me? Hear me? Sound check. All right, beautiful. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay, good. All righty. So I'm not gonna wait for 2,000 people to get on the live feed to move on. Those who can't catch it live will have to catch it on the replay. But as you can see, those who have eyes, let them see, and those who have ears, let them hear. A lot of things are happening. A lot of things are transpiring across the nation. A lot of things are happening across the world. All right. And as you could see and hear, the trumpet has sounded. It's not just a matter of seeing, but hearing. There's a man that's acting as a president, and he's very active. He's very active. Once again, I'm certainly sure you have heard the term, the pen is mightier than the sword. And as you could see, the pen is doing a lot of work with a lot of executive orders. Now, peace, peace, peace. A lot of people are concerned as to, the temperament of the so-called president. But I'm going to explain a few things to you today in this video, and I want you to hear me well. All right. Again, I don't care about, what people think. I'm just going to present the facts because I realize that there are people, who came from a lineage of ancestors that came here to destroy things for destruction, and they can't help it. You see, it's in their DNA, and they just cannot help themselves. It's in their DNA, so they cannot help themselves. What you have to realize, and I tell people, let us stop playing the color game. You see, when you are dealing with color, you step into a world that's not real. You step into a realm that's fictitious. So when you start playing the color, the so-called white man, the so-called Chinese, yes, we all have to stick together to build our own. But now we're looking at things from a broader perspective. That's what we're going to look at things at. And what we have to realize is this. A lot of the people who look like us, they are the ones who sold us out. I'm going to repeat myself. A lot of the people who look like us, they are the ones who sold us out. Okay? From time immemorial, we have been on this landmass called the Americas. Now, I'm not going to beat a dead horse by telling you, oh, we are the Aborigines. The majority of you that are tuned into my channel, you already know that because I've been teaching that and talking about that for quite some time now. However, what you may not be aware of is this. They have flipped things around, okay? They have created imaginary borders, okay? They have separated the land. So in other words, the American landmass is a whole lot broader than you think it is. certain parts of Africa, if not that entire landmass, is America. It's not the other way around. And these people on that other side, we call Africa, these people have been coming to our shores for a very, very, very long time. Okay? So when the so-called Christopher Columbus said he discovered us, he didn't discover us. As a matter of fact, Christopher Columbus never set foot on American soil. He came to the Canary Islands. And that's a fact. So when you talk about the enslavement or the transatlantic slave trade, that is a theory. However, it's a theory that happened, but not in such, the exaggerated form that they speak of. But what they're not telling you, like I'm certainly sure I mentioned this before, they're not telling you about the American slave trade. The American slave trade, where they took our ancestors from the American continent and brought them into different parts of the world. Okay? What people are not aware of is that the landmass called Africa, the people that look like us, the Negroids, they are not Africans. That's why they don't call themselves Africans. They have nationalities such as Nigerian, Ghanaian, Senegalese, Ethiopian. Okay? They don't call themselves Africans because a lot of them know where that term came from. As a matter of fact, African, okay, literally, the pale man was called African before us. And that's a fact. If you go look at the etymology of Africa, you would see that the pale man was called an African before us in the Americas. But what people don't know is the landmass Africa was wasteland. And all these places like Nigeria, those are not the original people there. They migrated into that part of the world. They are actually, most of them are actually the original Portuguese. And that's a fact. So when you have American Aborigines saying we are from Africans, we are from Africa, those people are lost. Those people have no idea what they are talking about. Because even well, I'm putting in quotation marks, the real Africans are not even Africans. Okay? Europe was called Europe. The Caucasians are not even Europeans because the original Europeans are of the Negroid stock. The so-called Caucasian, they are the Africans. They are the black people, the pale people. But that's not what we are talking about here today. That is not the basis of the message. But I mentioned that just to say that we have to stop playing the color game. We have to. Because those people that look like us, when the conquistadors came here, okay, on their ships, right? They came here with people that look just like us. And there is nothing new under the sun. The same then they are doing today. What do? They come here for opportunities. Right? That was being done back in ancient times. They came to our landmass for opportunities. Some of them came with the colonizers to help them. But this was the deal. They came as indentured servants. It's even in the Bible. They came as indentured servants to serve for 7 years. And after they have served their 7 years, they would be allocated a certain amount of land. But what the colonizers did was the colonizers said, listen, servant, but now you are a slave. You ain't getting nothing. So yet still they sold their brothers and sisters for 30 pieces of silver, but they didn't get their cut. They didn't get their booty. They didn't get their land. They didn't get what was promised to them. So we have to get the narrative of the history, okay, properly. You feel me? We have to understand that. So again, the purpose for this video today is to let you know that there has to be some action that needs to be taken. It's either now or never. Once again, our people on the American continent, our ancestors were not physical slaves for the majority of them. Okay? It is a mental slavery that took place. And that mental slavery was to take place for 400 years. Okay? The supposed date was 16, I think it was 1619 or 1607, somewhere around there. 1619, because 400 years would make it 2019. And that's why it's a spiritual thing. That's why the majority of American Aborigines, they are waking up to the truth. However, it's gonna be a whole lot more of us waking up, because you see, next year would be that 400th year. 2019 is that the spiritual awakening. But we have to put certain things in place. I tell people it's more than just calling yourself an Aborigine, because being an Aborigine, yes, that's who we are, but it's a title. It's a title, just like Black, African American, a Moor, a Negro, a colored person. Those are titles. But what's not a title is who you are. And who are you? You are a man and a woman born and created in the likeness of the Creator. So the purpose of this video is to go beyond the titles. Go back to what it was meant to be: a man, a woman with alienable rights, with unlimited rights that shouldn't be infringed upon. That's what we need to go back to, because we are living in a system. And a lot of you have to realize that you are living in a box. In a box. The United States is a corporation. It's a box. And inside that box, you have the United States. Well, not inside that box. Let me rephrase that. The United States is a box. Let me see if I can explain this for you a little better. All right. So this is the box, right? This is the American continent here, my phone. And in that American continent, you have what's called the Union States. So we're going to create another box. All right. All right. Let me turn this around. I think this is better. Okay. So the entire circumference of this phone is the American continent, right? Now, the screen, just that black part right here, is called the Union States. In other words, the 50 states. Everything else outside on the white is the different countries in the American continent, like the entire Caribbean, South and Central America, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Dominica, St. Vincent, Jamaica. All those are in the Americas. They are outside of that box, the Union State, what's called the United States. Okay? But within the United States of America, you have another construct that was created, another little box right here that was created called the US, the United States. So I hope that makes sense. So you have the continent of the Americas that consists of North, South, and Central America with the surrounding islands. And within that construct, you have what's called the Union States, which is what's called the 50 states. And within the 50 states, you have another construct that was created called the United States of America, which is the United States, which is only a 10-mile radius in Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia. So what they did was they took that construct, the United States, that corporation that was created, okay, and they extended their jurisdiction throughout the Union States to make everybody property, to make everybody a ward of the state. Now, if you go, I have explained that before, but I'm going more in detail. If you look at the 13th Amendment, the 13th Amendment states that no form of slavery shall exist within the United States, whether it may be voluntary or whatever. No form of slavery. No form of slavery. That was a law. However, here comes the 14th Amendment that says, okay, you know what? Man, that 13th Amendment is not a good move. It's going to cost us money. It's going to cause some problems. So we need to maintain control of the people. So what do we have to do? We have to create a new kind of citizen with civil rights. With civil rights. So when the so-called black man or African American was fighting for civil rights and they gave it to them, that was a bad thing. Because we went from man and woman, to civilians. In other words, we became, our existence, we started existing in a complete fictitious world, a civilian world, a world that only exists on paper. I hope that makes sense. Because you realize that a lot of what people will call freed men, not because they were slaves, no, because they had land. In fact, they owned slaves. And the further back you go, if you could trace your lineage, you would realize that a lot of our ancestors were landowners. Now, I beg the question, how is that slaves owned more land than the colonizers? I mean, those are things that you have to think about. How is that the slaves, the so-called slaves, right? They own land and they had titles to land that the colonizers didn't. It is because they were not slaves. They are and were the original people of the land, and they had what's called the allodial titles, the original titles of the land. But at that time, at that juncture in our existence, we were considered man and woman with rights. So they had to trick the people. They had to create a new type of citizen. And that citizen was called a 14th Amendment citizen, a United States citizen. Look at the Constitution. Look at the Constitution. To be a citizen, you have to be born or naturalized and be a subject of the United States. I'm going to repeat myself. To be a citizen of that corporation, you have to be born or naturalized and be subject. It didn't say born or naturalized or. Okay? It's not all three. It is two components, okay? And. So it's born or naturalized, and you have to be subject to the corporation to be a United States citizen. So again, all this is voluntary. They give you a choice. They give you an option. So the citizens, they are not real. They only exist on paper. And how did that happen? That happened through the birth certificate. That's why if you have a baby, they will not let you leave the hospital without signing a birth certificate. Now, the birth certificate is not registering the baby's birth. Okay? You have to understand that. The birth certificate is recording the event. It is not recording the baby's transition into this world. I hope that makes sense. Okay? The birth certificate is not a record of live birth. Okay? It is not proof to show that your baby was born. However, it is proof that an event took place. And from that event, they created a fictitious baby, the all capital letters, which is called, some people call the straw man. So they created a fictitious baby to represent your real baby. And that baby gets what's called a legal name, a first, middle, and last name. The only place a first, middle, and last name can exist is on paper. It's on the birth certificate. In real life, there is no such thing as a first, middle, and last name. So you see how you were tricked. So our entire lives, okay, we grow up thinking that that is us. We grow up thinking that that fake entity is us. So everything that fake entity does, you become responsible for. In other words, you are the guardian. You have permission to use that entity, to use that name. It's permission, because the name doesn't belong to you. Even if your mother gave you the name, by her signing that document as an informant, it makes you a ward of the state. It makes you a property. It makes you a legal person, so to speak. Now, y'all could hate this video as much as you want. I'm going to let y'all haters do what you do. But everything that I'm saying, I want you to prove me wrong, because I'm speaking facts. This is not my opinion. That is a fact. That is a fact. And I want anybody to prove me wrong, with all the haters out there, because y'all hate yourselves so much. Y'all hate to see the truth, and y'all hate to hear the truth. Okay? So that is the game that was played. So our entire lives, we go around and they even create an identification, so you could present to the world and say, yes, that's me. I am responsible for that individual. Okay? But brothers and sisters, it's a choice. You have free will, but you don't know you have free will. You don't have to accept that title because it's not you. Because as a baby, you didn't have free and prior consent. You wasn't informed. You didn't sign any document saying that that's me. So why are you taking the responsibility? Why are you holding yourself responsible for what that fake entity does? It only exists on paper, brothers and sisters. That's why the only way to change your life is for the pen and the pad. It's through executive orders, because what it is really affecting, it is not you, the flesh, man and woman. It's affecting the paper entity, the created entity, the one that's on the birth certificate. That is who it is affecting. But because you think it's you, you are holding yourself responsible. It is a little bit tricky, but as long as you understand it, you will know how to defeat it. And that's what I want to teach you. That's what I want to talk to you about. How not to be that fictitious entity, because it's not you. It's not you. So going back to that birth certificate, it is a problem, because that's where that transaction took place. That was the new covenant. You see, as a baby that was born, a living baby, man, woman, okay, man, woman, a living baby that manifested here from the Creator. They knew that. So they cannot do anything with a living flesh, blood, man and woman. They cannot do anything with a man or a woman, because we have free will. That's why I told y'all before, there is order in the universe, and there is a certain order that they must follow. However, to trick you, they gave you an option, and you chose the latter because you don't know. You don't know the harm that you're causing to yourself. And the government that we created is not supposed to cause us harm. However, they have the right. Now, don't get me wrong. Please don't misconstrue what I'm about to say. They have a right to do what they want with their citizens. Now, I'm not saying it's moral, but I'm saying they have a right, because you signed, well, not you, your mother or your father signed that document and gave you away. So now you are property, you are chattel. That's why at every job they have the human resource, because you are the human resource. The United States, the incorporated United States, is a big business. And haven't you always heard when politicians run for president or they run for office, what do they tell you? The United States is a big business and is built on small businesses. Well, my brothers and sisters, who do you think, or what do you think the small business is? The small business is you. Every individual, every legal person, that is the small business, collectively created the big business. So now when you have a president is only the president of the corporation. The president is only making decisions to affect that legal entity that's on paper, not the flesh, blood, man, and woman. But because we don't know, we think that is the president that represents you. No, he only represents that legal entity that you say that's you, but it's not. I hope that makes sense. If you guys need any type of clarification, please put that in the chat, and I'll try to see if I can explain it some more. But the president is not an organic president. The president is a president of only legal, fictitious entities, only people who are born or naturalized and subject to the United States. Okay? Yes. Here comes the Social Security number. The Social Security number is to track. It's like, it's called, it's to really track, you know, everything that you do. It's a track because they have to keep track of everything that their citizens do. The United States is not a nation. The United States is not a country. It is a business. It is a big business. So when you see they are warring with, let's just say, Japan or China or Korea or Russia, it is not organic countries that's warring, because the government is the people. The people are not warring. It is the business corporations that's going. It is businessmen that wear suits that are fighting against each other. That's what's really happening. It is businesses trying to see who could control territories. And I'm talking about territories with a small t and not a capital T. Because a capital T is a proper noun, and the government cannot own any territory. They cannot own land. But yet still they're fighting to control territories with a small t, because they are corporations. Corporations are not living entities. A non-living entity cannot own things. They cannot own things. But we are under the illusion that they own. You know why? Because people perish for the lack of knowledge. So my brothers and sisters, you have to get your affairs in order. It is time. The world is waiting. The world is waiting. We are the mothers and fathers of civilization. It is not the other way around. It is not the African continent. No, there is nothing new under the sun. When our African brothers and sisters come here, they come here to learn, or they come here for an opportunity. It has always been that way. It has always been that way. They are coming home to their parents so that they could learn, so that we could help them. A lot of them know the truth. A lot of them don't know the truth, because it's the miseducation of the entire world. But the world is watching for the American Aborigine to wake up. So what are we doing? Are we going to continue hating each other? Are we going to continue to fight each other? Are we going to continue to fight against the truth? Because you don't like somebody? I don't care who don't like me. I haven't done anything to you. You don't like me because you are envious of me. Why? I don't know. But the truth is the truth. There is no such thing as half truth. Everything that I'm saying, I want you to prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove to me that the United States is a country. Prove to me the United States is a nation. Prove to me. Prove to me that the masses of people are not slaves. I want you to prove that to me. Prove it to me. You can't. So the question to you today is this: what are you doing to get your affairs in order? Because only we, the people, could change things around. And it is time. It is time. There is something in the air. Okay, I can feel it. but the people are still disenfranchised. Okay, the people are still separated. I don't know why, for whatever reason, and I do get it. Not everybody's going to get along, but there is enough of us that's vibrating on the same frequency that could change things around. There's enough of us. Now, if we go into the allegorical Bible, it will tell you, okay, only 144,000. Now, whether that's, an exact number, I don't know. Whether it's a calculated number, I don't know. But what I get from that is this: it is not going to take a lot of us to change things around. The only problem is those of us who are supposed to change it, we get so distracted by other people and their negativity. We get so distracted by everything else and we don't stay focused. This is a big game, brothers and sisters, that we are playing. It's a big game. And the truth of the matter is that game only exists on paper. It's only a reality on paper. It's not real. It is a facade. It's not real. We make it real. Because no money could be generated without your signature. Banks have no money. The only time banks generate money is through your signature, through your autograph. It's the only way, because you are the resources. So here you are, the creation, which is the government, and we are the creators of the government. How is that the government is in charge of our lives? How is that the creation is in charge of the creator? It shouldn't be that way around. So it's about time we, the people, and I'm not talking about just Aborigines, I'm talking about people. Because before you were an Aborigine, you were a man and a woman. Let us not worry about the titles from now. Those are just titles. Let's talk about the man and the woman. The man and the woman were enslaved mentally, on paper. That's what I'm talking about. So this has nothing to do with color. The so-called white man, because nobody is white, the so-called white man is the house slave. And the so-called black man is the field slave. And they are miseducated the same way the majority of our people are miseducated. The only thing is, the people who run this game, they know how to divide and conquer. So they play the color game. Or you know what? We're going to give the house slaves a little more privileges than the field slaves. But it's up to us, the so-called field slaves. It is up to us, the so-called field slaves, to turn this thing around, because the answer lies within us. Only because, yes, we are man and woman, but we are also the Aboriginal people of this land. So we have everything in our favor. The ball is in our court. But do we know that? We don't know that, because when we go play the game, we play their game in their court, and we don't know the rules. There is rules to this game, and we are playing a game that we don't understand. I'm gonna give you a typical example. When a police officer pulls you over, or you go into a court, and the judge asks you, do you understand? Now, in regular English or in slang, if I ask you, do you understand? What does it mean? It means, do you comprehend? And you may say yes or no. But in their world, in that world where they speak legalese, it doesn't mean that. When a judge, a so-called judge, or a police officer asks you, do you understand? What he is asking you is, or he's telling you is, do you understand that you are under me? I am over you. You are in my jurisdiction. And when you say yes, thinking they are asking you, do you comprehend? Guess what? They own you. So brothers and sisters, this is something that we have to learn and master. Okay? We have to learn and master. When they ask you, do you understand? It means that they are asking you, and there, you see, it's voluntary. That's the trick. They cannot do anything without your consent. So they need your permission. It's like a vampire, a Dracula. A vampire cannot come into your house through the window. They have to come knock on the front door, and you have to invite them in. It is the same thing with this system. They cannot do anything without your consent. They cannot do anything without you inviting them in. So when they say, do you understand? It's an offer. They are offering you an invitation to step into their fictitious world. And when you say yes, they got you. You are in their jurisdiction and they could abuse you. And that's a fact. It's the same thing when you go into court. You see, it's a game. You are playing a game. And that's why our people love basketball. They love entertainment because they love being on the court. But I'm going to show you the parallel between playing the actual physical game on a court and going into a court and playing that game, because they are synonymous. There is a relationship between them. And here is the parallel. When you go onto a court where they play a game, a physical game, what do you have? You have a court, you have a referee, and you have the players. And you have a coach. Now, when you go into a court where you have to answer a summons, what do they have? They have a referee, which is the judge. They have the coach, which is your attorney. And they have the players, which is you versus somebody. So you see, it's a game. Now, how many times have you seen LeBron or Stephen Curry or any one of those players go on the court without practicing? They get up 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and they go take shots. They practice. How many of y'all practice before you go play the game on the court? So when you go into the court to answer a summons or a charge, how many of you practice? You see, you don't practice because you don't know you're playing a game. So here you are going to play a game where the referee, which is the judge, is against you. Your coach, which is your attorney, is against you because he works for the bar association. It's a family. It's a society of men that came together and they know exactly how the game is played. So here you are, unbeknownst to you, you think that your attorney is on your side when literally your coach is against you. The prosecutor is against you. So 9 out of 10 times when you go to court to play the game, you will lose. Even when they put you on probation, your probation officer gets paid because they have already accessed your trust fund. I know a lot of you have heard that term trust fund before, and you think it's only so-called Caucasian people or rich people have trust funds. No, you have a trust fund. You just don't know about it. From the moment you were born, and that birth was registered, that life was registered. Not you, but the event of your birth was registered. A trust fund was set up for you. And through the birth certificate, you have a number, a CUSIP number on your birth certificate, also your social security number that's being traded around the world, particularly the New York Stock Exchange, where you are worth millions of dollars. Your trust fund was set up. And their goal is to access, in other words, the government has become our parents. It doesn't matter what part of the world that you are in, it's a universal thing. And they have become our parents. And instead of the government, which we put in place, our parents, to take care of us, we are taking care of them because they are accessing our trust funds without us knowing. And they are getting paid. They are using our trust fund for personal gain. And that is a breach of contract. They have breached that trust. And that's a fact. But you don't know. So whenever they pull you into court, you see, the only way for them to access that trust fund, you have to give them permission because you are the beneficiary of that trust fund. So they need your signature. They need you to go into court and say, yes, that's me. I am such and such. So even if they put you on probation, they have permission to access that trust fund. And that is the breach. So it is up to you and I to take responsibility and make sure that they don't abuse you. I'm talking about the living man and woman, by you thinking that fictitious entity that was created when you were born is you. It is not you. And I'm going to give you another example. You see, everything is a mirror effect. So as above, so is below. So as within, so is without. You have a left, you have a right. The spirit is not the flesh. You have to understand that. And a lot of you literally have given up on the Most High. You think that you own things. You think that, you know what? Oh, I am the God. No. Okay? You are the creation of the all. Okay? The all, the great spirit, okay, learned how to create and created its creations. And we are one of those creations. But however, the essence of the great spirit exists in each and every one of us. So the flesh is not you. And that is the same principle that they used. Okay? They used that mirror effect. So within you, there is a spirit. And the spirit moves the flesh. So that's the principle that they used. When that living baby was born, they considered that living baby the spirit. And then that fictitious entity they created is your body. I hope that makes sense. So now the only way for that body, that dead fictitious entity on paper, it's dead, it's not alive. It is a non-living entity. The only way for it to come alive is through the spirit, you, the living man and woman. You have to sign some papers to bring it alive. You have to put up your hand in court to say, yes, it's me, to bring it alive. And that's the truth. And they cannot do anything without your consent. But the truth of the matter is, because it's not enough of us stepping up, okay, and holding these people responsible for the breach of contract, the breach of trust, they are doing everything in their power, and we allow them to do it. And that's the problem. Just like this, the sister was saying, we depend on everything outside of us to control what's inside of us. When the truth of the matter is, the spirit is what moves the flesh. However, because we are so lost, we have gone so far away from the Most High, we allow the flesh to move the spirit. You know why? Because they give you all these distractions. The phones. How many of you wake up the first thing in the morning, the first thing at the rise of sun, even before you give the Most High thanks, you pull your phone out to see how many messages you got. You pull your phone out to see what type of text you got. Because the world has gone crazy. Yes, people are brainwashed. I look around me every single day, and I see it. People are walking in the streets and they're like this, bumping into people. They are zombies. The walking dead. The walking dead. And I'm going to tell you one thing, brothers and sisters. I'll be the first to admit I don't know it all. I am not a master teacher. I am a master student. Because I wake up every single day, I rise, and I ask the Most High to show me the way. And I don't care what anybody say about me. I don't care what anybody do. I know that I am for the people. I know I have found my purpose. And there is a gift and a curse. Well, I'm not going to say it's a curse, but there are some potential disadvantages to knowing your purpose. Because when you know your purpose, you die for the truth. When you know your purpose, you cannot be wavered. You cannot be bought. But it comes with a price, the persecution from the same people that you are trying to save. And that is the downfall. That is the pitfall of finding your true purpose. And even for those of you who your purpose is to come to promote negativity, even if it's your purpose is to come destroy, to come to cause chaos, you have found your purpose. And I know it's eating you on the inside, but you cannot help yourself because that's in your nature. So yes, you will come, you will hate the video. Why? Because I'm speaking the truth. So why are you hating the truth? You see, you are dealing in your emotions. So I could tell, I know who you are. I could see right through you that you are not for the people. You say you're for the people, but you are not. How can you be for the people and you hate the truth that's going to save the people? You are a damn hypocrite. And you came from a bloodline of people that sold our people out. And your days are short. And we will run into you eventually. And you will be dealt with. The trumpet has sounded. The man is doing what he's supposed to do. I don't pay attention to that. The question is, what are you doing? He's playing his part. What are you doing to play your part? What's your part in all this? We all have a role to play. What is the role that you are playing? And I have a message for the world or to the world. A lot of people think that the United States is America. The United States is not America. So when you have beef with the United States, don't think you have beef with America. Okay? The American Aborigines, the people have nothing to do with people who run the corporation. Okay? You should make your beef personal with the people who run the corporation, not with the people. We don't support or condone the atrocities that these people go around the world implementing on people. No, that's not within our nature. So I want the world to know that the United States, the corporation, is not America. There's a difference. And we do not condone their behaviors. So when you have beef and you want to blow things up, don't blow us up because you think it's us. No, it's not us. Have beef with the people who are causing the problem, not with the people. The people are mentally enslaved. They don't know they're slaves. And for all those of you who are not righteous, for all those of you who are walking around and your heart is not as light as a feather, man, I ask the Most High to deal with you in the most severe way. It is not judgment. I'm not casting any judgments because I don't have the authority to do that. However, I can ask of the Creator. I can ask of the ancestors to deal with you very harshly in the way that you deserve. Because whatever you put out there, that's whatever seed that you sow, that's what you're going to rip. And if you rip negativity, I want the negativity to come back to your life tenfold, 20-fold, 100-fold. But it is time for the righteous ones to come together, band together, unite together. Let us stop playing games with these people. And if we have to go against those who look like us, that came to cause chaos, that came to prevent us from moving forward, then we deal with them. We go to war with them. It is what it is. Because there is nothing new under the sun. We have warred with people who look just like us for centuries because they are constantly selling us out. And I told y'all before, y'all could talk as much as you want. Y'all could hate the video as much as you want. As long as you don't touch me, I'm good. Because I will destroy you. And I promise you, there is no law on this land or on this earth could hold me responsible or liable for defending myself with probable cause. Y'all messing with the wrong one. Y'all better know that. I'm going to let y'all know the deal. So with that being said, I am speaking to those who are seeking truth. Okay? I am speaking to those who are ready to step up. and make these moves. So why did Jesus, Malcolm Martin, offer great face negativity? You can do great things, be an amazing person, and do self-face. Oh yes, I'm cool. I mean, it's one thing for people to talk, but it's another thing for people to harm you. No man or woman is supposed to harm another man or woman, and we have the right to defend ourselves. You see, let us not get it twisted. One of the first rules and laws in the universe is self-preservation. Is self-preservation. You have never seen any animal in nature. I don't care how small or how minute it is. Anytime any animal attacks it, I don't care how huge it is, guess what? It defends itself. It may lose, it may get eaten, but it's going to defend itself. So I'm going to defend myself against any predator, whether they look like me or not. Whether they look like me or not, I'm going to defend myself. That's just the bottom line. You see, and I'm going to tell you, those are people with that nigger mentality. That nigger mentality. That's why I tell people, I am not a nigger. You always hear niggers talk about, yo, I'm going to kill a nigger. I'm going to take that nigger out. I'm going to murder a nigger. Yo, I'm going to blow that nigger out. But one thing you never hear a nigger say is he don't know how to kill the nigger in him or her. They always want to kill the nigger in somebody else, but they don't know how to kill the nigger in themselves. And that's the problem. Kill the nigger in you and become a man and a woman. It is time to stop playing the damn games. Yeah, always want to take out a nigger. Always want to kill a nigger. Why can't you kill the nigger in you? Why don't you look at yourself in the mirror and kill the nigger in you? Always want to fix other people's problems before you fix your own. That is the problem. Y'all are just filled with hate. And people have to learn to heal. I understand that you hurt. Hurt people. I get it. But when are you going to take some time to heal yourselves? Indeed, I agree with you, Sinolo. I agree with you. I agree. However, I am not one of the people that believe in works by faith and not by sight. I believe in works in action, because you could sit here and hope all day. If you don't make a move, nothing is going to manifest. I don't care how much you go on your knees and pray. Okay? I don't care who you pray to. I'm not here to criticize who you call your God or your so-called God or your creator. That's not what this is about. You serve who you feel you want to serve. You have free will. I can't take that away from you. But don't believe for a second that you just have to go down on your knees and pray to whoever you pray to and everything is going to work out. No, you have to get up and put in that work. Because even the creator, even the creator, the Most High, being the Most High, to create anything, that entity had to put in the work. They had to get their hands dirty to create something, to make something happen. So how do you think that you could just sit around and hope for things and things are going to happen for you? It doesn't work that way. You see, that is the religious concept. Religion has crippled the people. Religion has made the people sheep, and therefore they seek shepherds. But I am here today to let you know that each and every one of you is a leader. Each and every one of you is a chief. Each and every one of you is a king, a queen, an empress, an emperor. Because why? We all have a crown. And that's why the crown of your head is your crown chakra, because you are born royalty spiritually. So step into your place, step into your throne, and stop being a peasant. Stop it. You have that right, and no man, woman, entity should take that away from you. The only reason they take it away from you is because you volunteer yourself. A police officer cannot pull you on the side of the street and do anything with you until you consent. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not saying be belligerent. I'm not saying be rude. No. There are diplomatic ways to deal with things. And as long as you learn, be a student first. Too many people running around here wanting to be teachers and they don't know a damn thing. They don't even know how to wipe their own butts. But they want to come on here and be teachers. They want to come on here and do videos, but they don't even know how to save themselves. And that's the problem. Too many chiefs and not enough Indians. So I'm here to tell you today, the power is in your hands. Nobody else's but yours. You have a choice. You have free will. Every single day you wake up, you have a decision to make. Am I going to be good today? Or am I going to be bad? Am I going to be righteous today? Or am I not going to be? Am I going to be, I don't want to use the term godly, but for lack of a better word, am I going to be godly today? Or am I going to wake up to cause destruction? How am I going to uplift my brother? How am I going to uplift my sister? How am I going to support a brother and a sister? Those are choices that we have every single day. And I ask you, do you even think of them? Or because everything is just so normal, everything is in your subconscious to just get up and be evil, to just get up and be mean, to just get up and not be righteous. Is that part of your nature? Are you disliking the truth today because that's part of your nature? Because you hate yourself? Not because you hate me. You don't hate me. You don't know me. So how can you hate something you don't know? You hate yourself. And that evil that's in you, that devil that's in you is eating you up. Your conscience is not at peace. So you cannot live with yourself. So what you do, you impose your self-hatred on others. I get it. I forgive you. I do. I really do. I forgive you. I pity you. I feel sorry for y'all, man. For real. But there are those of us that came to do the right thing. There are those of us that came to uplift humanity. And those are the people that I am resonating with. Those are the people that I want to deal with. Y'all have already shown your face, the face of negativity. So I know who you are. And you shall not prevail. Because you see, we have too much work to do. Too much work to do. So I just wanted to come out and do a video. And before I conclude, we're about 58 minutes in. But before I conclude, I want to share something with you guys again, a reminder that you have a choice. Do not allow anyone or any institution to control your life. The only reason why they control you is because you give them permission. You give them consent. Every time you fill out an application, you're asking for permission. Anytime you register anything, you are asking for permission. Okay? They created a box called the United States, and they have everybody in that box thinking that they must exist within the paradigm of their construct. No, you don't. It's an option. It's voluntary. It is voluntary. If you don't know what that means, go look it up. It means that you have options. You have free will. And we, the people, need to come together and step into these people's faces. They are the public servants. May I remind you what that means? A servant has a master. And if you are a public servant, that means the public is your master. But because the public They don't know. They don't have the knowledge. They don't study. They don't research. They don't do the things that's applicable. Then guess what? The servants are acting as the masters, and we are allowing them to. The roles have been reversed, and it is time for we, the people, to step up and take control of our lives. You see, they are pushing this illusion through colorable laws and codes, and through color, through gentrification. I'm in Brooklyn right now, and I could see in Flatbush the dynamics are changing, but it's looking like a black and white thing, but it's not. That's the way it appears. But I'm telling you, you have the power and the ability to change your life right now. It's a matter of changing your thoughts. Are you a slave or are you not? That is the question. Are you a legal person or are you a man or a woman that was created in the likeness and image of the Most High? Those are the questions that I want you to ask yourself today. All through the day, I want you to ask yourself that question. Am I a slave? Do I volunteer to be a slave? Am I going to allow them to enslave me? Am I a man or a woman, or am I that legal, fictitious entity that they created? I want you to ask yourself that question all throughout that day. For the next 24 hours, ask yourself that question over and over and over again until it sinks in. Who am I? You see, that is one of the most powerful phrase. I am. Those two words, okay, those two words shapes your entire existence. I am. I am. And anything that follows that becomes your reality. So I'm going to ask you today, who are you? And before you answer that question, I want you to reflect on everything that I've said. And I want you to post in the chat, who are you? Who are you? And it's not a rhetorical question. If you don't mind, I would like for you to answer that question. Who am I? I would like for you to post it in the chat. Let me see if you guys are really following everything that I'm saying. Let me see if you truly have a complete understanding. Let me see if you comprehend the message in this video today. I'm asking you, who are you? And I would like for you to start off saying, I am. I am. I would like for you to start saying that in the chat. I am, and finish the sentence. And that's right, mate. I am that I say I am. I am who I say I am. But the question remains, who are you? If this video, if you really comprehend the message in this video today, the answer should be as clear as day. So I'm going to ask you again, who are you? And I'm going to wait a few moments because this is important. It's imperative that you get this. It is the only way out. I am a servant of the Most High. I could deal with that. I could deal with that. I could deal with that. I am who I am. I could deal with that. But that I am who I am, you have to have an answer for that, brothers and sisters. You have to have an answer for that. So that may be something personal. So if you feel that you don't want to share it, I respect it. I am energy. That's right. That's right. Okay. But within this physical paradigm, I'm going to answer my own question. I am a man. I am a man made in the likeness and image of my Creator. There you go. And as long as you understand that and you comprehend it and you are able to articulate that, no matter where you go, they have no jurisdiction over you. It's only when the fear kicks in. Well, if you don't do this, we're going to arrest you. We're going to send you to jail. You know, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. Those are empty threats. They are empty threats that has no credence. It has no value. It has no weight, because they cannot prosecute a man or a woman. They could only prosecute a defendant, a suspect, a criminal, a legal person. I'm going to repeat that again. They cannot prosecute a man or a woman. A man or a woman cannot exist on paper in their fictitious world, in their fictitious courts. They cannot. So that's why they have to get you to consent. That's why they have to get you to say that this is you. As long as you know that, you stand on that. I am a man made in the likeness and image of my Creator. I am a woman made in the likeness and image of my Creator. I am not a member of your society. I am not a legal person. I am not a part of your society, and there is no law that forces me to be a part of the legal society or the bar association. They have no jurisdiction over you. And that's a fact. I'm giving y'all some gems today because I want you to get this. I want you to change your life. I want you, well, I don't want you, I would like for you to, because you could only do what's best for you. Okay? Anything that causes you harm, you have a right to not accept the offer. Everything is an offer. When they give you a citation, a ticket, it's an offer, it's an invitation. Let me see the best way I could equate that. I'm gonna give you another example. If somebody gives you a flyer for a party, let's just say somebody gave you a flyer for a rock and roll party, and rock and roll is not your thing. What you do, you take the flyer, you see it's for rock and roll. Hey, you know what? Either you throw it away or you give it back, because it's an invitation. I'm not interested in that. I don't want to go. It is the same thing with a ticket and a citation. When they give it to you, it is not a debt. It is an invitation. It is what's called, it's a complaint that they are giving you, saying that you did something that you wasn't supposed to do. And they are giving you an invitation to come to court or an invitation to pay. Now, the only thing people don't know is they have a choice not to accept that invitation. And when I say don't accept it, I don't mean, take it and rip it up. No. When you take that invitation, you have to respond within 1 to 3 days. Respond and let them know, thanks, but no thanks. Okay? I decline the invitation because it's an invitation. Okay? A non-living entity cannot make a claim. And no crime is committed unless you harm somebody, unless you damage somebody's property, or unless you defraud somebody. Otherwise, everything else is just a policy. And if the policy is causing you harm, you have a right to decline that policy, that statute, or code. And that's a fact. All right? So it's about time we hold these people responsible. The government was created by the people and for the people. The only thing is they took the people and replaced the people with what's called legal persons. And legal persons have no rights. They have privileges, and these privileges can be taken at any given time. So with that being said, my brothers and sisters, get your affairs in order. Okay? Don't care what people say. Forget the negativity. People are going to talk. They're going to talk. Let them talk. All right? People have been talking for centuries since man have learned to talk. They are going to talk. Okay? They're going to spread rumors. They're going to spread propaganda. Isn't that what the news is for? Isn't that what Fox is for? Isn't that what NBC is for? That's what it's for. To spread news, to spread propaganda, to spread negativity. Don't worry about these people. Pay them no mind. You see, they don't exist to me. They are irrelevant. I don't care about them. What I do care about is the people. The people who are willing and ready to step up to take control of their lives. It is just so much to teach, so much to learn. For those of you who buy houses and you have a home, the first day you sign that dotted line, between 1 and 2 to 3 days, that house was already paid for. Do you know that? And then the bank have you paying for it over and over, 6 times over, because they are defrauding you. When you buy a car and you sign on that dotted line, you have already paid for the car in full. But do you know that? People perish for the lack of knowledge. And that will continue to be the case. Okay? The world is not real. It's fictitious. It only exists on paper. And that's why every time they want you to do something, they have an application. An application is an invitation. It's to beg for permission. They want you to sign something because they cannot do anything without your consent. That is just the bottom line. And that's the truth. So in conclusion, to summarize things, you are living a life that's not you. Okay? That birth certificate that was created a fictitious entity, and you are representing it. It's not you. You are not that legal name on that piece of paper. That's not you. There is no such thing as a legal name. It's unlawful to have a legal name. The spirit cannot have a name. The spirit is only I am. That's why in the allegorical Bible, the allegorical God told the allegorical Moses that when Moses asked, "What's your name?" What did the Creator say? "I am, and that shall be my name forever." And Moses went around and said, "Well, you know what? The I am said that his name is such and such." The Creator never said that. The Creator said, "My name is I am that I am." However, man took it upon himself and said that the Creator will be known as. It's the same thing they did. Okay, you were born a living man or baby, and they created a fictitious entity and said you will be known as, and you are carrying the burden of that fictitious entity. So anything that fictitious entity does, you are responsible, but you are doing it by choice because you have free will. So once again, I have explained all of this in detail in my book. Okay, newsflash: everyone's a slave unless. The link is below. To reserve your copy of the book, send an email to everyone, the number 1 is a slave @gmail.com. My brothers and sisters, it is time. The only way to get out of this situation is for you to understand the situation. You cannot change anything if you don't know what to change. In order to get 4 quarters, there have to be $1, right? So to make change, you have to change something. But how can you change something if you don't know what you are changing? So in the book, I have broken all this down. I have went back to the 1700s to show you exactly how this thing happened, who did it, how it happened, and what's happening right now, and solutions to change your situation. Okay? And that is the truth of the matter. Only we can make change. There you go. That's right, Sanilu. Change the rules or stop playing the game. If you don't know how to play the game, stop playing it, because you are destroying yourselves. You are destroying your children, because you are selling your children into a life of voluntary slavery. How can you free your children and you haven't freed yourself? I hear people talking about, oh, all this Aborigine stuff and all this American Indian stuff. But have you freed yourself as a man or a woman? An American Aborigine is a title. What about the man and the woman that represent the title of being an Aborigine? So I am taking you beyond the thresholds of all the titles. Okay? That's what I'm doing. And once again, I will always be a pioneer in the things that I do. So let the haters hate. My track record speaks for itself. So they could talk, they could hate as much as they want. Y'all cannot stop the truth from being told. And y'all cannot stop the righteous people from stepping up. Because it's prophecy. So I am taking you beyond the threshold of the titles. I am taking you to the finish line. What it means to be a man and a woman again. I can teach you that. Because you see, a man and a woman cannot exist in the fictitious world. That's why they have you taking responsibility for that fake entity. So once again, for all those of you who are ready to put in that work, man, my email is in the link below. You see, I don't have time for negativity. I don't have time for the naysayers, because I know what's going on. You see, I got vision. I got foresight. I got insight. They could only see on the outside because their inside is filled with chaos. Too much desolation on the inside. So they're looking for company. You see, misery love company. But you're not going to find me. I'm not playing your game. I don't want to be part of your society. I don't want to be part of your club. I don't want to be part of your negativity. I got too much work to do. Too much work to do. So with that being said, the link is below. It is time to make these moves. Okay? We are living in a perfect time right now. Perfect time. And once again, yes, being an Aborigine is great. It has a lot of advantages, a lot of perks. But remember, you are an Aborigine that's a slave. So I want you to think about that for a second. Just think about what I just said for a second. You are an Aborigine that's a slave. So I am teaching you. I want to teach you how to be a man and a woman first. In other words, I want to show you how to regain your crown, your throne as a man or a woman. And then we will deal with us being Aborigines, because we are prisoners of war in our own land. But first, you have to free the man and the woman first. Okay? The man and the woman first. You have to free them first, and then everything else will follow. Because there has never been a time when man or woman hasn't existed. Because the man and the woman is created in the likeness and image of the Most High. And the Most High has always existed. So therefore, man and woman has always existed. But they found a way to enslave the man and the woman. Yes, that's right. They found a way to enslave the man and the woman. I don't deal with sovereignty. When you use that term sovereignty, you are making yourself the target. Okay, so I am not a sovereign. I am a man that's made in the likeness and image of the Creator with unalienable rights. Okay? That's it. And no one has the right to infringe on my right. That's just the bottom line. Because as the Aborigines of this land, automatically we are sovereign. So we are not preaching that sovereignty, that being sovereigns. We are not doing that. We are not doing that, because that is a red flag and they will consider you a terrorist. Okay? The sovereign movement is another movement that pale people deal with. We don't want to deal with that. We are natural people, okay, that was made in the likeness and image of our Creator. All right? So I want to teach you guys how to deal with the man and the woman, and all the titles will come after. Okay? Because even if you're an Aborigine, you live in the construct of that corporation, they don't have to honor you being an Aborigine. And that's the fact. Because you see, it's not enough of us uniting to make that change on an Aboriginal forefront. It is too much. You see, the Aboriginal movement has become like the conscious community. You have people talking about the Aborigines, but they're going around spreading rumors and lies. They are hating. That is not the ways and mannerisms of Aboriginal people. We don't backbite each other. We don't do that. So even if you're an Aborigine, they don't have to honor you as an Aborigine. However, as a man or a woman, that's a whole different ball game. Now you are taking things to a whole different plateau. Okay? And that's where we got to go. You see, I'm taking you out beyond the threshold of titles. It is time to make some real change. Let us go to the core. Let us go to the core of the problem. Okay? Because right now, I'm not about putting band-aids on wounds. I'm not about that. I want to go in the belly of the beast and rip out the belly of the beast. That's what I want to do. And the only way to do it is to become a man and a woman again. And that's where we are going with this. Everything else comes after. Yes, I'm a man that calls himself an Aborigine. But first, before I'm an Aborigine, I am a man. And that's the key. That's the key. All right? So I just wanted to come and share that information with you guys. Once again, the book is here. I have gotten the master copy. I got so excited, like I said, I added 8 more pages to the book. It's a beautiful read. It's profound. It has so much information. It will open up your mind. And I've explained things in detail. So the link is below. Reserve a copy for the book. All right? It is time to make these moves. All right? Time to make these moves. It's the only way it's going to go down. All right? It's for you to stop being property. It's for you to stop being that legal person and for you to become a man and a woman once more. All right? So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. I'm assuming I haven't stepped out yet. But I'm going to go and I'm going to get me a bacon saltfish with some passion fruit juice. That's right. That's what I'm going to go get right now. I'm going to go and get me a bacon saltfish with some passion fruit juice, and I'm going to take my time and I'm going to eat that. I'm going to enjoy it for you as well. I'm going to put some tamarind sauce on that. Ooh, man, my mouth is watering right now. That's what I'm about to do right now. So I'm going to go get me a bacon saltfish with some tamarind sauce. I'm going to let them put some extra tamarind sauce on that with some passion fruit juice. And I'm going to sit down in the sun and I'm going to enjoy that. Okay, I haven't break my fast yet. So I'm going to break my fast. And hey, listen, man, you know what? I love you guys, man. And I will continue doing what I'm doing. And family, I'm going to tell you, don't worry about the naysayers. Don't worry about the negativity. People are going to talk. All right. They are going to talk. That's what they came here for. They came here to be destructive. They came here to be disagreeables. They came here to cause chaos. Okay. But I will continue to be righteous. I will continue to do what I came here for, and that's to uplift the people. I will continue to do that. All right. And it says, come back and eat with us. They are doing this now and call it mukbang, right? I know, right? Indeed, indeed. But you're a great spiritual being. Enjoy your food, and thank you for the information and message. Oh, you're welcome, Daphne. And you know what? Like I said, man, this has nothing to do with color. I want people to know that the entire world is enslaved through that piece of paper. That's why all it takes is a pen and a pad to change your life. And guess what? It's going to take a pen and a piece of paper to fix your life. The pen is mightier than the sword, and it's time for us to take action. The same executive orders that they could sit and write with a pen, I could show you that and guarantee you we could take the same actions and change our lives. We are the ones in charge, not them. Let us stop giving them the power. They don't have the power. Yes, those of us who vibrate on this frequency, yes, we are little in number physically, but spiritually, we have the Most High on our side. We have the ancestors on our side. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to say, hey, 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 hey. All right? Give thanks to the Most High, man, for real, because we are going to get this done. We are going to get this done. There is work to be done. So my email is in the link below. Send me an email. Again, righteous people. I don't want to deal with no type of negativity. If I feel an inclination of negativity, I'm going to block you from my email. I'm not going to respond. I only want to deal with righteous people, children of light. I don't want to deal with darkness, period. All right? I am not a legal person. I am a man made in the likeness and image of my creator who calls himself an American Aborigine. But I am a man first. And I want to teach you guys how to be men and women so that we could crumble this situation. Okay? We need to get into the belly of the beast as man and woman, like, you know what? Like Jonah in the belly of the whale. Yes, it's an allegory, but that's us. That's us. We are Jonah in the belly of the whale, and it's time for us to step up, step out of the belly of the whale, and show them that we are who we say we are. Okay? The same way that the allegorical Daniel was in the lion's den, that is us. We are in the lion's den. We are in the belly of the beast, and we will survive. We will be victorious because we are children of the Most High, and they cannot stop that. Okay, it is prophecy that the last shall be the first. We were the first, we became the last, therefore we will be the first again. It's our time, and the time is now. So send me an email, let us build, let us link, get your affairs in order. Okay, first you have to make the statement that you are a man or a woman, and you have to let them know that, put them on notice. So send me an email, let us do this, it is time. So with all that said, I thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. Thanks for sharing your energy with me. And again, all right, real recognize real. Okay, true righteous frequency recognize true righteous frequency. All right, and for the bottom feeders, I appreciate you guys as well, because guess what? You are giving this video more views. So thank you. I appreciate you as well, but you are not welcome. Okay, your energy is not welcome in my space of energy. All right. So, Inspirational Johnson, you know what? It's okay. It's all right. You know, we got work to do. All right. You know, it's only many are called, but chosen a few. And for a lot of them that are out there thinking that they were there, they're not chosen, because you could tell by their works. You could tell by their words. You could tell by their actions. You could tell by their intentions. They want to hurt people. They want to destroy people. They want to spread propaganda. They want to spread lies. Okay? They are not chosen. They are not. They were called to destroy people, to be destructive. But it's only the chosen that's going to change this around. Okay? So let us come together. Let us unite and make this thing happen. I got a few tricks up my sleeves, and it's time to put it into action. It is time to put it into motion. So like I said, my email is in the link below. If you want to reserve a copy of the book, send it to everyoneisaslave@gmail.com. And if you want to build on another level, get your affairs in order, do what you got to do, send me an email, chiefkalanago@gmail.com. There is work to do, and we ain't got no time to play around. All right? The time is now. Let's make this. There's no other time like the now. No better time than the now. Because every thought that you think of, okay, it's already out there in the universe, and it becomes your reality. Okay, every thought, every intention. So now is the time. All right. Yes, action speaks louder than words. That's right. They are not chosen. I just left a man that is a narcissist. I feel your energy, and it's pure and divine. Well, thank you, Daphne. I appreciate that. Like I said, real recognize real. Okay, and you know, the only way you're going to know when people are real is when your soul and your spirit resonate with them. Okay. And I appreciate you guys for that. You know what I mean? You see beyond the flesh. You see beyond the rumors that they spread about the man, the physical man, Chief Kalanago, but a lot of you see my spirit, a lot of you see my soul, and that's what matters to me, my energy. And that's all I am. I am that I am, and I am not that physical flesh. Okay, that physical flesh is just the host of the real me, and the real me is for the people. The real me is always to uplift the people, and that's not going to change regardless of what anybody say. So they could hate this video as much as they want. It doesn't matter. The message will resonate to those it was meant for. All right. So thanks for sharing your energy with me. Okay, I appreciate that. So enjoy the rest of your day. And like I said, my email is in the link below. It is time to come together and make those moves. Peace and love.